So Donald Trump did more than a dozen rallies over the last few days. He's going crazy, going 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., doing rallies in the dark, in the cold, in the heat, in the wind, complaining about all of the weather at every single one of these. We've learned that these rallies are not without negative effect. We've seen old folks get hypothermic after being left at the rallies with no buses to take them back to their cars. We've seen folks get heat stroked as they start just spraying water onto crowds in the extreme heat and sun. Stanford study, which I will talk about, has found that at least 700 people have died of coronavirus thanks to Donald Trump's rallies. And it is all about feeding his ego. If you are delusional or whacked enough to even go to one of these rallies during a pandemic, you're voting for Trump. He's not convincing anybody. He's feeding his ego. And just some of the most insane things from the last couple of days here, I can't cover it all. It wouldn't be healthy to expose you to all of it, but I'm going to play a few clips for you from the different rallies. Trump here actually saying out loud what his philosophy has been, which is whatever Obama did, I will do the opposite.
Frankly, we just said, what did Obama do? And I heard, and you know what I did? I did the opposite. I said, what did Obama do? And then I did the opposite, and it worked.
Now, there's one thing that's missing there, which is everything Obama did, he will undo, unless it's something he wants credit for, in which case Trump will just claim he did it. Obama protected pre-existing conditions with Obamacare. Oh, I protected pre-existing conditions, or I will. What? Obama did veterans' choice. We did veterans' choice. Just say I did it. That's the piece that was missing there. Trump then continuing to glorify mob violence, the surrounding of a Joe Biden bus and the side swiping of a staff vehicle. Trump loves it.
They had the thing with these really, I'd say, very good people. They were riding along the highway and you had Sleepy Joe's bus. So they escorted the bus, and the radical left said, oh, what a horrible thing that is to escort the bus. They don't tell you about Antifa that go around burning down your cities, Democrat run, only Democrat run. They don't talk about that, bopping people over the head, killing people.
Extremely dangerous. And we did an entire segment on that, so I won't rehash it here. Then Donald Trump, now at a different rally, Donald Trump says, you know, if Biden wins, we're not going to have anything. He's been saying Biden will take away electricity and indoor heating and cooling. Now he has another list of things Joe Biden will take away.
The Biden lockdown will mean no school, no graduation, no weddings, no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no Easter, no 4th of July. No future for American youth. Other than that, he's doing quite a good job, right?
The reality is all of those things have happened under Trump due to his mishandling of coronavirus. Remember, guys, in March, when Trump said, let's do 2 weeks of washing hands, and then we're going to reopen on Easter. It's going to be amazing. It's Trump's mishandling that led to this. It's a level of projection that in this close to the end of the campaign is just beyond words. It's an authoritarian nightmare as well. Donald Trump, during one of his corona rallies over the weekend, not accepting that there will be a peaceful transition of power if he loses.
And now they say, will you respect the decision of the voters? And will there be a friendly transition? First of all, there's not going to be a transition. We're winning. But then you say, well, let me ask you, 4 years ago, was there a friendly transition? They were spying on my campaign before I even won. And what was worse was they were spying on my campaign after I won to overthrow the president of the United States, okay? Which is called treason, And let's see what the hell happens. I don't know why it takes so long, but it takes a long time.
Trump still will not say there will be a transition. We now know, thanks to the report from Axios at the top of the show, that the Trump plan is in any scenario other than a Biden blowout, Donald Trump will step up to a podium and declare victory tomorrow night. And instead, here he's saying, you know, the real problems are the crimes committed by Barack Obama, which, of course, he still can't actually enumerate. We've slid into authoritarianism. It's happened slowly over 4 years. If Trump had started with this 4 years ago, it would have been wow. But just like we've been warning about normalization, it's a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And now Trump regularly calls for the imprisonment of his political enemies, of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary. And it makes news, but it is not the unilateral outrage, the unanimous outrage that it should be. We've all become desensitized to it to some degree. Continuing, Donald Trump then fabricated a meeting, which he then said was a phone call with Prime Minister from Japan, Shinzo Abe. The call never happened. People just shrug. It's not even remarkable that Trump is now making up phone calls that didn't happen.
And you will eviscerate your auto industry. It will be terrible. We can't do it. You know, we've worked very hard to bring it back. I met with Prime Minister Abe of Japan, great guy, since retired. He had a problem with health, but fantastic man. And I said, no, Shinzo, you have to send plants to Michigan. You have to send plants to the United States. And he said, no, I cannot do that. That is a private decision. I said, Shinzo, you're a powerful man. I'm sure you can do it. No. I said, you have to do it, Shinzo, because you're making too many cars, sending them here. We want them made in the United States. You have to do it. He says, well, I can't. The next day they announced there were 5 companies moving to Michigan and Japan. That was Japan. He's a great guy, that one, I'll tell you.
Not only did that phone call never happen, 5 companies that make cars didn't move into Michigan either. It is all made up. Saturday night, Donald Trump was in Pennsylvania. He again floated this idea of Obama and Biden committed crimes. The crowd chants, lock them up. We still don't know what are the crimes.
Look at big tech. You look at what's been happening lately, right? You look at the media where they refuse to cover one of the biggest scandals. No, but the biggest scandal is we caught them spying on our campaign, right? We caught them trying to overthrow a duly elected, commonly known as me, President of the United States. Let's see what happens. Very dishonest people. You're right. Well, that you're right. You know, there are a lot of people that call that treason. Okay, that's treason. Let's see what happens.
The people for law and order and due process, right? Say lock people up who haven't even been accused of a crime. Trump still struggling with a lot of words. Minneapolis continues to evade him.
And then Portland. We want to go into Portland so badly. Take out the anarchists. It would take us about 25 minutes. You saw what happened in Minneapolis. You know, after a week and a half, they could have called a little quicker, like.
Not the only instance, you know, maybe just avoid saying Minneapolis if you can't say it. One more.
And don't forget, they've done a terrible job in Minnesota where they let Minneapolis burn down.
And then here is Donald Trump saying ridiculously that under Joe Biden, I mentioned this, you won't have heating in the winter. You won't have air conditioning in the summer.
Biden has vowed to abolish the entire U.S. oil industry. No fracking, no mining, no natural gas, no heating in the winter, no air conditioning in the summer, no electricity during peak hours.
Do his followers believe that? I read an interesting piece over the weekend, catching up on my reading, as it were, that suggests even Trump's followers don't literally believe when Trump says things like there will be no heating and cooling under Joe Biden, but they are okay with it because they just write it off as this is how politics works, hyperbole and lies, which is problematic because it normalizes it, which is the exact opposite of what we need. It should be ostracized, not normalized. And then just to wrap up the insanity, at an earlier daytime rally in Newtown, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump, just after we set a record of 100,000 coronavirus cases in a single 24-hour period, Donald Trump repeats that we are rounding the turn and just doing great on the virus.
We're ready. We'll have that. And we will have it. But even if you didn't, I say it drives them crazy. We're rounding the turn. We're rounding that turn. We're rounding it. And our economy went down less than any economy anywhere in the world. And it went up faster by far. You know, they keep hearing about Europe. Well, they're not doing nearly as well. Seniors will be first in line for the vaccine. And the vaccine will be free because it's not their fault. It was China's fault. China did this to us.
we have to make sure, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we can make it happen. We have to be at the end of these rallies. Trump will do a few rallies today. Trump may do a few rallies later this week while the votes are still being counted. We must make sure that by the end of this week, these rallies are over forever. We don't have a choice. It's a desperate situation. We'll have more clips and coverage on our Instagram page at David Pakman Show. For a much needed break from the politics, how about coffee? Follow me on Instagram at david.pakman for my slow-mo espresso shot from this morning. The politics still matter, but just for like a 15-second break, you can find that on my Instagram. If you are anything like me, you probably aren't thrilled with the idea of going into a doctor's office right now. And thankfully, there's a practical and affordable way to take control of your health and get personalized care from the comfort of your home. It's a service called SteadyMD. They're one of our sponsors. You take a quiz, you get matched with a licensed primary care physician who understands your health needs. You have a 1-hour video call with your new doctor. You establish a meaningful relationship with them. And after that, your doctor is available to you anytime by text, phone, or video chat. This is not a random doctor on call. Each doctor at SteadyMD has a limited number of patients, so they actually have time to listen to you. You get the personal attention that you deserve. They can do almost everything an in-person doctor can do: perform medical evaluations, talk to you about health concerns, send prescriptions to your home or local pharmacy, and anything they can't do online, they'll quickly set you up with an in-person provider to do, things like blood tests, as an example. You don't need insurance. It's only $99 a month with no other fees or copays. There are so many practical advantages to using SteadyMD for primary care, and it's also so much more affordable. Go to steadymd.com/Pakman to take the free quiz, see which doctor is right for you. I took their quiz. They matched me with a doctor who specializes in my particular health needs and situation. The doctor they gave me is a really perfect fit for me and my medical needs. There's no risk, no commitment to get started. Just click the link right underneath this video.